I'm gonna be explaining why hope is the most powerful in tvdu. People who say legacies, hope is weak, and Thatch has no outburst, let me show you.
For what happens inside of you anytime tragedy strikes. For when your emotions are tested in ways you couldn't even imagine.
How can anyone prepare for that?
You aren't just anyone, Hope. You're a firstborn Mikaelson witch with a terrifying amount of power, even without the darkness that your family is keeping you away from.
So what? I'm so sensitive, everyone's afraid I'm just gonna flip out?
Well, when people like you and me flip out, entire villages can burn.
So creepy. Hope's down. Yesterday,
I love you, Hope Mikaelson.
Ventus.
Sorry. I guess I was dreaming. It was really just a series of disappointments and Shakespeare.
I understand. You're going through a rough patch.
Well, I feel like if you understood that, you'd probably get why I don't really want to dramatize the story of undying teenage love.
You know, especially when it does end with dying, and then not dying, and then him ditching you anyway when he promised nothing would ever come between you two.
Just a stupid game. No, it's not real, it's just a spreadsheet. You were pathetic. Little boys role-playing war. And you're all gonna die. Don't you see that? You're just disposable. I mean, you mean nothing to me. Hope. You're a liar. And a martyr. And you're never gonna save the people that you love because you're just not strong enough. What are you all doing? Don't you see I'm about to kill you all? Someone take me out! Someone take me out!
And next, for people who think Hope's Malavor feat isn't a feat or does not outscale tvdu feat, Hope's Malavor feat is literally universal, let me explain. Malavor was considered to be a hell dimension that contains eternal darkness and endless space.
To another dimension sounds pretty good to me right about now.
No. Malavor is a hell dimension. It's eternal darkness. He'll be trapped and alone.
To their surprise, the creature was more effective than they could have dreamed. After the dragons were gone, it kept eating every monster it could, swallowing them into an endless space inside itself.
For something to be eternal, it has to be everlasting. If a dimension is endless and infinite, immeasurable, it can then be compared to the size of a universe. Universal is when a character can create or significantly affect a universe of comparable size, which does not involve the space-time. The fact that Hope destroyed Malavor, an infinite or endless dimension, that would scale her power to universal.
What magic is this?
It is a squad thing.
All right. That's the full Schreiber tour. And we can finally end this.
Beatriz.
And part of this TikTok I found very, very true, because people love to compare Hope and Bonnie's Puerto. Downplay Hope is very, very frustrating, especially when she's confirmed the most powerful.
Someone said that Hope didn't beat Malavoria with raw power because she used her blood, but that's simply not true. In the Vampire Diaries universe, blood has been used to siphon magic from enchannel, because blood has power in itself. And since Hope's blood power was extremely strong and was tainted by the vampire and werewolf power, along with her witch abilities, it was strong enough to kill him. I really don't know why y'all are trying to invalidate Hope's feats, because if that was the case, Ket using blood to do literally everything would also be invalidated.
Here is Hope displaying more strength than an original vampire and maybe even hybrid because she had red oak in her system, which is an assumed weapon that can kill her. Aurora has almost the same strength as an original vamp because she is the same age as them.
And your punishment is...
Then here Hope displays one of her most powerful strength feats, showing that she is more powerful than any form of vampirism because she sends the strongest god to his death with one kick. This is showing Hope's strength is past god level, meaning her, if she were just a hybrid, she'd be the strongest hybrid ever. Meaning her hybrid side is stronger than Marcel and Klaus for those compare them to. Here are some statements from the originals proving her power.
Oh, you won't dare kill the body she's taken. Even now, she's locking herself within the greatest witch this world may ever know.
Famine, flood, fire. That charlatan was right, Vincent. Hope Mikaelson will be our downfall.
You, my sweet girl, are their worst fear.
Power means nothing if that baby grows another day. Sabine's omen was clear. That baby will bring death to us all.
Pretty much that your baby would bring death to all witches.
Before Hope Mikaelson was born, the French quarter witch Sabine Laurent swore, Nos omnia perditu LM. The child will destroy us all.
You have extraordinary power.
Create Hope as a person who is now 7 years old, and she's her own character. You can imagine that one of the reasons we wanted to do that was to take delight in building story off of the consequences of having a 7-year-old who's the most powerful witch in the world.
I think that the Super Squad is really lost without their main Super Squad leader. We've kind of leaned on Hope for so much of all of our monster fighting issues that as we kind of reach a point during even the first episode, the main question is just like, where is Hope Mikaelson? Because that's all we've ever depended on this entire time.
They score another hit on Ken. I don't understand what changed.
She's giving them courage, a belief they can win. Having the real Hope as their leader, it's increasing each of their powers. It might just be enough.
Firstborn witches in this bloodline possess devastating power.
You're saying this is what's to come for Hope?
Hope will suffer far more than Freya. Hope's magic will be tainted with your vampire blood as well as the aggressive wolf temperament. Without the proper tutelage that only I can provide, Hope's power will grow unchecked. She will lash out at everyone, including you. She'll devastate the city that you love, and then her terror will spread far beyond.
Your niece, she who's born of my bloodline, she has the power to destroy me, and that I cannot allow.
Helping children like her.
There is no one like her. This girl might be the most powerful supernatural who ever existed, and she's a ticking time bomb. You're talking about more power than anyone has ever had. And no matter how strong you are.
The Tribrid. The first of her kind. An immortal, unstoppable force of nature.
The most powerful being alive, apex predator, magical miracle baby, the almighty Tribrid, supernatural royalty, demon spawn, or devil child, the most powerful supernatural entity Taiho has ever existed.
I assume you have some elaborate plan to put Hope down?
Very elaborate indeed. You see, after the descendants of the original Triad freed me, I knew I would need an object powerful enough to trap the Tribrid. My search led me to this.
A coffin. It was scarier when the tarp was over it.
If you believe the legends, it's some sort of prison or jail. Said to be capable of containing a god.
A god?
Monsters are real, why not divine beings? All stories come from somewhere. And if these stories are true, this sarcophagus should be strong enough to trap the tribrid.
Hope's power isn't containable. Both silver and gold daggers can't hold her, and with her vastly powerful magic, there are remedy-known weapons that can harm her other than their oak stake. A god was threatened by her existence and said she could be worshipped as a god, implying Hope's power is god level and is a godlike being.
I've done you a favor. You could have been worshipped as a god.
Go depart to Zoxo.